My name's Dominic, this is my wife Denise.
Hello.
We have a 14-year-old son, Vincent, who when he was around 2, we realised there was a problem with his hearing. He wasn't talking as much as other children were.
He just wasn't responding to us at all when we used to talk to him.
So we began investigating that, looking at audiology and looking for some help. Initially, we thought it was a speech and language delay problem. It took maybe 4 or 5 years of going backwards and forwards to an audiology department to try and get some assessment for his hearing. However, the audiology department constantly said that he was difficult to test and that there was nothing wrong with his hearing.
So I asked for a different test. They said yes, there was. And that involved them coming to our house overnight and they tested, they set a computer up to his head while he was asleep.
Vincent was actually profoundly deaf.
In both ears.
In both his ears.
We didn't realise he
which
was...
came as a massive kind of shock to us, bearing in mind the 6 years previous to that we'd been told that, there's nothing wrong with his hearing. Vincent then was put into a situation whereby ultimately he had hearing aid, which didn't really help. But then he went on to receive a cochlear implant in both ears, which has helped him no end. Now he's capable of hearing. But obviously that period between Vincent being 2, when we first picked out there was a problem, up until having the cochlears fitted at maybe age 7, he missed out of all that sound input, which were obviously the important years for his speech and his development, both like socially and verbally, really.
And that's when I decided, well, after about 6 months worth of people coming up to me and saying, well, you're going to leave it at that, you're not going to do anything about it. So in the end, I said, well, maybe we should go to a solicitor.
What I've liked about Fletchers is the fact that they seem to be covering all the bases. Everything's been very simplified for us. I'd imagine very technical terms have all been brought down to layman's terms, so it's been very easy for us to follow. We've been kept in the picture constantly. We've been able to get in touch with Trevor Ward at Fletchers, even on the weekends.
Yeah, we know that we can just pick up the phone and just call him. He's always there for us.
A lot of the load has been lifted off us, and Fletchers have taken that on board on our behalf. And very kindly, they're organising everything, aren't they? Bending over backwards to help us, really, and ultimately to help Vincent, just to help secure his future. The claims help massively. Since our involvement with the solicitors, we've had superb access to specialists that perhaps we would never have thought about, both child psychology, educational psychology. He's maybe 4 years behind with other children with the speech and language development. It's helped close that gap down a little bit to try and make Vincent's life a little bit easier. And just his confidence is obviously boosted now that he can speak to people, which has taken a massive amount of pressure off us because we're no longer spending every day worrying about him at school because he's more social with his friends. He's developing friendships probably for the first time ever. Proper friendships. He's always going to need assistance. He's always going to need someone to help read for him, or perhaps write for him, or take notes for him, because he can't follow a conversation as rapidly as we would do. And this is all everything now Fletchers have helped provide that will take place, that he will get that kind of assistance. So Fletchers ultimately have helped us secure for Vincent a very positive future.